Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back into another episode of Winning Bets. I'm your host, Jason Mattis. Thanks for joining me on my weekly NASCAR show, where each and every single week I'm joined by William Blackwell. How's it going there, William?
It's going good, man. I'm ready to talk about some Road America action this Sunday at 3:30.
That's right. Should be a fun race. Before we get on into it, as always, you guys can find William over at W Blackwell 72 is how you can get him on Twitter, and of course, all of his YouTube information is always in this video description. As we do each and every single week, we always recap the previous race, and then we look forward to the race coming up ahead while we submit our picks for $25,000 over on Jackpot Races, and then we do $10,000 on the NBC Sports Predictor app and another $1,000 over on the Fox Bet Super 6 app. With that being said, let's jump on into it and let's talk about that Pocono doubleheader. Let's talk about the first race on Saturday. I thought overall it was a good showing by the Busch brothers, and the winner was Kyle Larson. Oh, wait, it wasn't Kyle Larson. Flat tire. Tell the people how it went down on Saturday there, Will.
Saturday was interesting. We saw a lot of cautions and we saw a late race restart. And on that late race restart, Alex Bowman, who was running fourth at the time when that caution came out, with the choose cone rule in effect this past weekend at Pocono, he went from fourth to second. But he was restarting in the inside line, which was not preferred throughout the whole weekend. And a lot of people assumed, like myself, Kyle Busch would get going, he'd run away with it, and Kyle Larson would chase him down and win. But Alex Bowman actually ran into turn one, did really good, and actually cleared Kyle Busch and did not look back for quite a while. When his teammate Kyle Larson came into the picture, they went back and forth, landed a couple blows at one another. They made some contact, and eventually Kyle Larson got past him. And he opened up a big gap between him and Bowman. And then on the final lap, going through the tunnel turn, Kyle Larson blows a right front tire. And he just hits the wall. And it was just so unexpected, a heartbreaker there. I'm not going to lie to you. I was wanting to see someone else besides Kyle Larson win this weekend at Pocono. And I did get that wish granted in both races. But, man, I just feel kind of bad for Kyle Larson. That was like something out of his control, but his teammate Alex Bowman won race number one.
Yeah, I was gutted for him. I'm with you. I mean, we both kind of predicted Kyle Larson obviously have a good showing there, but I was definitely gutted with how it went down. You mentioned Bowman; he obviously got a good push there from the number 12 car. But as you mentioned there, when Larson, was able to pass Bowman, that was with 4 laps to go. And to your point, with 4 laps to go, he opened up a big advantage there with that 4 laps. That was just super impressive. His car is just really fast there. And then, yeah, then the unfortunate there that obviously sends him down finally into ninth place. On into Sunday, second place finisher on Saturday, improved by 1 spot, and Kyle Busch takes home that checkered flag there on Sunday. I'll get your thoughts here on this Sunday race, but obviously as we progress, through the season here, Hendricks has always been number one, and it's been really just Kyle Busch and Martin Truex, competing, and it's a distant like everybody else. I don't know. I mean, what about you? I mean, to me, it's Hendrick, and then Busch and Truex is really it.
Well, these last couple of weeks, I look at like my top drivers right now. If I were to do a power rankings, my top three drivers would be Kyle Larson, Alex Bowman, and Kyle Busch. But Martin Truex Jr. was at the top of that list at the beginning of the season. But these last couple of weeks, at tracks he's been running typically good at these last couple of years, he is nowhere to be found. Look at Charlotte. Look at the All-Star race. And Sonoma was up and down, but he still finished in the top 10. But, man, Truex had some bad luck lately. It's kind of starting to worry me as they enter the playoffs here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, no, Truex has definitely been fading here. I guess the reason I made that statement is because otherwise the winners have been you had Kozlowski at Talladega. Those super speedos, those are kind of fluky. And then you had Logano at Bristol. That was obviously on dirt, so that was a little bit of unknown. And then Blaney, came out of nowhere, there to rip a victory there from Larson at Atlanta. So yeah,
Yeah, that was the most impressive win, like in this whole season. I know you had Michael McDowell winning the Daytona 500, but that just luck. And then you go to the Daytona Road Course, Christopher Bell. I got to give it to him. He passed Joey Logano, a really hard racer. He gives it everything he's got, but Christopher Bell made a great move and passed him to win the Daytona Road Course race.
mm-hmm.
But the most impressive win this season, ouch, has been Ryan Blaney winning at Atlanta. He chased down that 5 car and won. He stole it from him. And
Yeah.
I think that's really impressive, and that's a statement move for Ryan Blaney and Team Penske.
Yeah, no, that definitely was. So overall, though, two really good races there at Pocono. Exciting, racing all up and down throughout all 38 spots on the racetrack. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Let's see what happens now over at Road America. Let's talk about that one now. Again, it's a road course in Wisconsin. Got 14 turns, I believe. And I'm going off the top of my head here. The Cup Series hasn't ran here since 1956, if I recall. If I recall that year right, when looking up my research, this has obviously really just been the Xfinity, series that's been gone to. So it's a huge unknown. Before we jump into our picks, anything that you're going to be looking for? I mean, it's such a big unknown.
I look at like stats because, like you said, the Xfinity Series has ran here in the past, and I look at drivers that have really exceeded in the race there at Road America. Austin Cindric for one, AJ Allmendinger. And then you got a couple of drivers like Kyle Busch who's raced in a couple of races at Road America. But just them type of drivers I look at, really.
Okay, all right. Before we get into our picks, let me remind the viewers here that they are doing practice and qualifying as we've been seeing at COTA, Bristol and the dirt, some of these tracks that, the Cup Series hasn't been running on. They are doing practice and qualifying. So we're about to give you our picks for a chance to win $25,000 on the Jackpot Races. But I know me, I'll modify them if need be once we get practice and qualifying time, see who's got some speed. I'm sure Will as well. So make sure you're both just, following us on Twitter. With that being said, let's jump on into it. As I said, you can win $25,000 over on the Jackpot Races. This is where they give you 6 groups of drivers. You got to pick the driver to finish best amongst the group, and then you got to give them a winner in second place. So let's jump on into it. Group 1, and you can go at it first. You got to pick between Larson, Elliott, Truex, and Logano and Hamlin. Who's going to be the winner amongst that group there for you?
Well, the simple bet these last couple of weeks has been Kyle Larson. But we're going to a road course, and he might just pick Chase Elliott. He's been really good on the road courses. He's won COTA this year. But you know what? I just think Kyle Larson has just proven a lot this year, and it's just too hard to bet against him. He's just so darn good. So I'm getting Kyle Larson.
Okay, yep. I mean, you nailed the 2 drivers, I think, in this group. It's definitely between Larson and Elliott, just based on their pedigree here at the road course. I went with Larson, too. I mean, just the momentum of the driver and the team and what he was able to do at Sonoma was impressive. So I'm right there with you. Until Larson, just falls off, I don't know how you don't pick him. I mean, even look at him at that Sunday Pocono race. He started out at the rear, having to go to a backup car, and he came all the way up there, and I believe he finished at P2. So, yeah, I'm right there with you on Larson. So let's jump on into group number 2. We got to pick between Byron, Blaney, Kyle Busch, Harvick, and Bowman. I'll go ahead and start it off here first, and I am going to give it to another Hendrick driver, and I'll go ahead and give it to Alex Bowman right there. Look, the last 5 road courses, he's finished every single one in the top 10. I absolutely love consistency. When you try to pick which driver is going to finish best, one thing you can bank on is consistency, and you're talking 5 races in that top 10. I love that. Among that, there's two top 5s, 7 top 10s in his last 11 drivers. Average finish of 9.45 is best in the group since 2008. I'll go ahead and roll with Alex Bowman. What about for you?
In group number 2, there's a driver that's in this group that I consider the most underrated road course driver in NASCAR history. Ouch. But it is Kyle Busch, and I'm going to pick him for this round just because he has experience here at Road America in the past, and he's going to be pretty fast, and I expect him to start up front, and he's also doing double duty, racing the Xfinity car Saturday and Cup car Sunday, so there you go there.
That's a very key point. When I did my research, the main Cup drivers that are in it is going to be Harvick and Kyle Busch. And you're right. When you look up stats and just in general road course, Kyle Busch is right there at the top. So I do think he's got a huge advantage with running in that Xfinity series on Saturday. So that's a really good point and a good sneaky pick. That could really tip him over the edge in that group.
Yeah, but one thing about the Xfinity race, a lot of people might see, I'm just going to give you a lot of people heads up here. You're going to see Kevin Harvick in that BJ McLeod car. He is not really racing a BJ McLeod car. He's racing a Stewart-Haas car. Chase Briscoe did the same thing at Charlotte a couple weeks ago. That's why he was up front. There is no way, and you know what, that a BJ McLeod car will be up front in the Xfinity race leading laps. I figured that out shortly after that Charlotte race that it was a Stewart Haas car. But there you go, interesting fact.
Yeah, no, great stuff. Absolutely love that from you. All right, let's move it over now to Group 3. You're going to go first. You're going to pick between Kozlowski, Kurt Busch this time, Reddick, Bell, and Dillon. Who's going to be the best amongst these guys?
Well, I like Brad Keselowski in this round. He's a great driver when it comes to road racing. But I'm going to pick Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch, these last couple of weeks, has been spot on. But you got to remember, at the beginning of the year, he was on fire. Then he went into a downfall. And then just at Nashville a couple weeks ago, actually last week, he did really well, won a stage, and made up so much ground on the point standings regarding the playoff bubble. And headed into Pocono, has some great results there, and now he's above by like 28 points, if I'm not mistaken. So Kurt Busch is my pick.
Kurt Busch is the pick for you. Kurt Busch is also the pick for me, and I thought this was relatively easy. The only things I'll add to that is he's got the best finish amongst this group at 10.73. He's got the best driver rating in this group at 91.63, top 5, 7 top 10s in his last 7 road courses. I thought he did compete well at Pocono, and then add to it, this season there's obviously been 3 road courses. 2 of them haven't involving rain, and the 2 that didn't involve rain, his worst finish was 6th place. This is a guy that too is an easy pick for me here, going Kurt Busch. Let's move it over now to Group 4. We got to pick between Chastain, McDowell, Dibenditto, Buescher, and Cindric. I'll go ahead and take first, and I'm going to go ahead and take it. You've been mentioning the Xfinity Series. I think there's a lot of merit to picking an Xfinity driver due to their history of running at this track, and I will do that right here. I'll take Austin Cindric. He's got first at this Road America course in 2020. He got second here at this road course in 2019. He qualified third at COTA. I know he finished 25th, but there was rain, so if you looked at what he did in dry climate, on Saturday, or leading up to it in qualifying, he did finish third. So, and there's a reason Team Penske's calling him up. This is now the multiple times they called him up. He's a good road course driver. They want him to get comfortable before he competes in that Cup Series next year. We may not know the team. We may think we know the team, but either way, they're getting him in comfortable spots where he can have a chance to succeed. So I like Austin Cindric to be best amongst this group. What about for you?
You nailed it. Austin Cindric is going to be my pick for this round. I don't know if we somehow managed to email each other again the second week in a row. But Austin Cindric, though, he's a great road course racer, and he's getting the call up to race in the Cup Series yet again. But this weekend, though, is like a big moment for Cindric because Road America is a great track for Cindric. It's probably his best track out of all the tracks NASCAR goes to. And if he does good here and somehow gets a top 10, I think that will get him a Penske ride for 2022. But if he doesn't, he will still have a couple more races this year with Team Penske where he can prove himself. But I think this is a important race for Austin Cindric if he's wanting to race the 2 car next year instead of the 21 car, which is kind of a downgrade for Wood Brothers.
Now, you just said the 2 car. We'll get to it later when you tease all that great content, but I think you've got me convinced. He may be in that 22 car. Logano's going to go in that 2 car, so you got great content over there. Well, again, we'll let you plug that a little bit later, but I think you got me convinced he'll be in that 22 car. Let's move it over now to group. What's that? Yeah.
Friday afternoon, y'all stay tuned, and I'll have another silly season video up, so just keep your eye out on that.
Yeah, you better keep your eye on those. Those are loaded with awesome information. All right, let's group it over now to Group 5. You're going to go first. You got LaJoie, Newman, Wallace, Suarez, and Almirola to pick from. Who's going to be best amongst these guys?
I really like to pick Bubba Wallace. He brought home a top 5 finish at Pocono, but he is just a terrible road racer. He is so bad at road course racing, it's not even funny. So I cannot pick him. I look at the kidney stone, you call it, Ryan Newman. I just don't know. I'm just going to pick Daniel Suarez to be safe. He's a really solid driver, really consistent this year, so Daniel Suarez.
You said it's not funny how bad Wallace is. I don't know if anybody heard me laughing up under you as you were talking. I got no problem laughing how Wallace is bad on the road courses. You got it. Daniel Suarez, that's who I had. Look, he's won amongst drivers in this group. He would have won this in 2 of the 3 road courses so far this season. He had a fantastic weekend at Pocono, folks. He's got great momentum. He finished 13th and 15th in those 2 races over this past weekend. And back in 2016, in the Xfinity Series, he got 4th at Road America. I rely on him to lean on that experience from 2016 and be best amongst this group. Let's close it out here on Group 6. We got to pick between Briscoe, Custer, Priest, Jones, and Alfredo. I'll go ahead and go first. and I am going to go with Erik Jones, top 16 in all 3 road courses this season. Look, folks, we talk about how Group 6 is like the group of death, how it's super tough because it's super unknown. This guy, top 16 in all 3 road courses this season. I absolutely love that. He's the only driver in this group whose finish was better than their start in all 3 road courses as well. So you can count on this guy. We don't know where he's going to qualify, but we know he's going to be finishing better than where he starts, and I can lean on that as well. Who's going to be your driver amongst this group?
I might be little biased here this week. I always pick another driver, and it's usually, like you said, a group of death. And like every week, it seems like all these drivers are involved in some type of wreck. But this week, though, I think it's pretty easy and take this bet on Chase Briscoe because he's so good on the road courses. Just look at him this year. Nearly won the Daytona road course and as a rookie. And then you go to Coda. All right there. He finished in the top 10, his first career top 10 finish. And you just got Sonoma, which is pretty bad for him. But he has won many races in the Xfinity Series at a road course in the past. For crying out loud, that's where he won his first race at. He's Charlotte Roval. And I'm just saying, Briscoe is a good road course racer. So keep your eye on Chase Briscoe.
Yep. I like the Briscoe. Normally, when I do some of these groups, I'll like eliminate drivers. Briscoe was a second to drive, or the last driver I eliminated, obviously, is settled on Erik Jones. So, yeah, I was between Jones and Briscoe, so I like that. All right, we got to give these people a winner, and we got to give these people a second place. So who's taking that checker flag, and who's going to be right behind them there, Will?
All right, taking the checker flag this Sunday, I'm going to make it short and simple. It will be the 33 car of Austin Cindric. Austin Cindric is just a part-timer in the Cup Series, and he gets the checkered flag at Road America. But finishing runner-up to him will be the 4-car of Kevin Harvick. I did not choose him earlier. I just felt like Kyle Busch in that round was a little too good to go on. Like you're making bets for like this, like points, like in the race and stuff like that. So Kyle Busch would be good there. But Kevin Harvick, long term, is going to be the good driver to go with. I know in the past I got criticized for picking a driver in a certain group and picking someone else in that group to finish higher in the race. But you got to go with Kyle Busch for the short-term points and Kevin Harvick long-term, if that makes any sense.
Okay, yeah, I don't think Austin Cindric hit that. That definitely does not surprise me because I think the Xfinity experience will matter. The Kevin Harvick pick, I will say that that one surprised me a little bit. I'm gonna go chalk. I'm gonna do it, folks. I'm gonna go chalk. I've got Kyle Larson winning. And I've got Chase Elliott finishing second place. Look, in 2 of the 3 road courses finishes this season, these guys finished 1, 2 in some sort of combination in 2 of those 3 road courses. So, yeah, it's just hard for me to not pick these guys to go bang, bang, 1, 2. I absolutely love your Cindric pick. I think he's going to be up there. I think he'll definitely have a top 10 finish. I think he can even crack that top 5. So, yeah, no, I actually I like that. I was tough. I was kind of leaning on him there. So. That's nice, but yeah, I'll go with the 2 big boys. I'll go with Hendrick here. But again, everything could be modified here after we see practice and after we see qualifying. So that's how we'll do it, guys. That's how we'll do it for $25,000. Let's give a moment so William can tell all the great things that he's doing over there on his YouTube channel.
On my YouTube channel, I do something called a Pick 5 contest. And if you're new to YouTube and wondering, how in the world does a Pick 5 contest work? Well, it is pretty simple. I'll make a weekly video giving my predictions and advice, and you can make your picks. And in the comment section, if you go 5 for 5, you get an autograph card or driver autograph of your choice. And if you go 4 for 5, you get an unsigned hero card and a couple more NASCAR memorabilia I'll slide in. But just comment down below, and any of my Pick 5 videos will be entered, and you can win a prize.
Okay, cool. Yeah, make sure you guys do that. And again, he's throughout each week, he usually comes out, with videos that mention, the NASCAR silly season, and he just told us he's got one coming out this Friday. So yeah, make sure you also check that out. All right, we're going to Wisconsin. The Cup Series is headed to Wisconsin for 14 turns. Let's see who can do it. I can't wait. All right, let's go ahead and let Will drop, and I'll go ahead and give you guys a chance to win $10,000 on the NBC Sports Predictor app and another $1,000 over on the Fox Bet Super 6 app. Enjoy the race on Sunday, Will, and we'll catch you next week on the Weekly NASCAR Show. Have a good one, man.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, there you guys have it. So those are our picks for a chance to win $25,000 over on the Jackpot Races app. Now let's flip it over to the NBC Sports Predictor app where we can win $10,000 This is the one where you got to pick the driver to finish best amongst the group in stage 1, stage 2, and the final stage. And then you also got to give them a top 3. So I'm going to go ahead in stage 1. I'm going to go ahead and pick Ross Chastain. For stage 2, I'll go ahead and pick Alex Bowman. And for stage 3, I'll go ahead and pick Chase Elliott. For a winner, I will go ahead and mix it up. I will give Chase Elliott as the winner. For second place, I'll go ahead and do Kyle Larson. And third place, I'll go ahead and do Austin Cindric. Let's go ahead now and flip it over to the Fox Bet Super 6 app where you can win $1,000. This is just 6 questions about the entirety of the whole race. For question 1, I'll go ahead and say Ross Chastain. For question 2, I'll go ahead and say 2. For number 3, I'll say Tyler Reddick. For number 4, I'll say Austin Cindric. For number 5, I'll say Kyle Busch. And number 6, I'll go ahead and say AJ Allmendinger, guys, right there. Guys, make sure you are following me on Twitter. It's at WinningBetsPod. It's at WinningBetsPod. I think starting position does matter on a road course. So you've got that stage 1 question there on the NBC Sports Predictor app. Then you've got a couple questions there on the Fox Bet Super 6 app. Depending on where practice and qualifying are, may change a couple of these answers. So just make sure you're following me. Practice and qualifying will certainly matter at a track that they've never been at before. So just make sure you're following me. Otherwise, guys, enjoy your 4th of July weekend and enjoy this race. First time ever for the NASCAR Cup Series since I believe it was 1956, headed to Wisconsin for the road course right there. And of course, we'll recap it next week, and we'll guys see you guys next week on the weekly NASCAR show. Have a good one. Thanks for watching this episode of Winning Bets. I'm Jason Mattis. I'll see you again when we are celebrating the wins and making more winning bets. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more winning bets.